That's exactly how I feel like every person in the GOP is. They are these baby Billy elixir salesmen.
Well, they don't get a lot of sunshine under those white hoods, you know?
Yeah. Trump wants a mid-decade census to erase human beings. I'm Jim Drastic.
I'm Tiffany Drastic.
I'm Nick Knudsen.
And today on The Dangerous Ones, we're talking about how Trump woke up this morning and made his newest power grab public on Truth Social, ordering work on a mid-decade census that erases undocumented immigrants from the count. It's an outright illegal assault on democracy and the Constitution's 14th Amendment that says every person counts, regardless of their status. We'll unpack why Trump can't legally do this yet, and how, if successful, it would skew redistricting, the Electoral College, and trillions in federal funding. Who stands to lose power and money? We've got the breakdown. Also, we've got a viral video of Indiana's Republican Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith, who was caught at a town hall saying the quiet part out loud, trying to redefine due process as only applying to people who are here legally. It's a shocking video that is more proof of the GOP erasing the constitutional rights of undocumented immigrants. Let's dig in. So how about this, you guys?
Fuck.
Dude.
He just wakes up and starts a nuclear bomb, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is, and we'll walk through everything. The good news is, on this one at least, that there's a lot of bluster here. Like, this would be very, very, very hard for them to pull off. But
thank God.
He's like a real-life Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, right. Pee-wee.
God, I mean, he just is a shit starter everywhere he goes.
Well, so let me read. I'm just going to read his actual post on Shit Truth Social. It was from this morning. It was at 4:22 a.m.
My
and
God.
He wrote, "I have instructed our Department of Commerce to immediately begin work on a new, highly accurate census based on modern-day facts and figures, and importantly, using the results and information gained from the presidential election of 2024. That is key, by the way. People who are in the country illegally will not be counted in the census, all caps. Thank you for your attention to this matter."
Like he just announced a blue light special at Kmart back in the day.
Completely unconstitutional, but whatever.
My God.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
So that's what's going on. That's what's prompted this. I read about this. I didn't, because I don't follow Truth Social.
Right.
I do have a lurk account that I get on there.
We have to know what the enemy's talking about.
Right. But I read an article in NPR about this, and I was like, what is he doing now? So first of all, let's talk about it. So he wants to, it's not clear, but it sounds like to me he wants a mid-decade census. First of all, Tiffany, legally, can he do that?
Yes, but there's like a bunch of things we have to go through. First of all,
what does the 14th Amendment say?
The 14th Amendment says, this is literally what it says, okay? All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws.
That's a great point, because it says person, not citizen.
Right.
Both amendments use the term person. So that's very important.
Yes. And the other key is, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property.
Right.
Okay. So that's what the law says.
Okay.
So that leaves you with basically 4 cornerstones of this law. It's citizenship, equal protection under the law, due process, which is the fucking snag we're hitting today, right? And privileges or immunities clause, which means the states can't mess with your federal rights.
So right now, he can't do that. If he were to do a mid-decade census, he would still legally, constitutionally, have to count undocumented immigrants.
Yes.
But there's some legal hoops he could try to do if he owns all 3 branches of government, which he currently does.
Jump through hoops.
And he would have to be banking on ultimately the court challenges landing in his favor.
Right.
Which is a wild card.
Also why they're trying to pack the courts right now.
Correct.
Right. And Nick, why would he want to do this? Why would he want a mid-decade census?
The same reason that he asked Greg Abbott to find him 5 more seats in Texas. So ultimately what the census does by counting the number of people in each state, it determines what portion of federal funding goes to which state. And it also determines the apportionment of House seats,
right?
That each state gets. So, like, the bigger your population is, the bigger your House delegation is going to be,
right?
And the House delegation is directly correlated with the number of electoral college votes that each state has, because the electoral college votes are the number of House seats that the state has plus the 2 Senate seats,
right?
So California has 52 House seats. They have 2 senators, so they have 54 electoral college votes. California, by the way, has 2.6 million undocumented people living in the state. It's a very big state. And that is the biggest state. So this is, crosshairs on California to a certain extent. That's a really big number. But Texas is number 2 at 2.1 million. And Florida is number 3 at somewhere around 600,000 to 1.2 million. It's all like the numbers are a little fuzzy. But there's also just the I hate these people part of this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the erasure part. Like we'll talk a little bit more about a guy in Indiana.
Yeah,
it's also trying to erase undocumented folks in a different way. The key here is there is a purpose to this, and it's political and logistical, for electioneering type stuff.
Yeah, so essentially he wants to do a mid-decade consensus to shift where money goes and to shift the amount of seats across states.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's just freaking crazy. And by the way, you mentioned the guy in Indiana, and we mentioned it at the top of the show. Let's get into that a little bit, because when we're talking about erasing rights, this is not just Trump doing that. It's the GOP across the board. And so Indiana's Republican Lieutenant Governor, Micah Beckwith, never trust a guy named Micah Beckwith, got caught on a video at a packed Terre Haute town hall saying the quiet part out loud that undocumented immigrants do not have a due process and, quote, no right to see a judge, even reaching as far as using Pearl Harbor as a comparison to sell it. I'll tell you about that in a second. The clip, filmed August 4th at the Vigo County Government Annex, is blowing up for a reason. It is a mask-off moment where erasing people's constitutional protections is the point. Let's roll the tape on that video so you can get a little hint on what I'm talking about.
So due process is in this situation is: are you here legally?
That isn't.
That is due process. Yes, it is.
Due process is getting arrested and charged with a crime and seeing a judge, and these people are not seeing a judge. That's not true.
They don't have a right to see a judge.
Why?
They came here illegally. They came here illegally.
If you are on American soil, your status does not matter. You have a legal right in this country for due process.
First
Thank
of all,
you, people in the audience,
Thank
for
you.
fucking knowing what the Constitution says.
God, I know.
That's exactly right. Before we go on, I just want to mention, why is it that every one of these GOP nuts are, they look like really bad vitamin salesmen?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it reminded me of a show, some of the people in our audience, I hope they know a little bit about the show. It is called The Righteous Gemstones. Okay. And every time, this guy reminds me exactly of a character in that show. I think it's played by Walter Goggins, Baby Billy. And I just want to play a little
Uncle Baby Billy.
This guy from Indiana reminds me of this.
Life got you feeling down? Baby Billy's Health Elixir will lift you up. Heal the spirit to heal the body.
Colds, flus, streps, even COVIDs. Every disease cured with ease by this blessed formula based on ancient scripture. You just drink this tasty coconut silkiness every morning, and that's it. Done. $100 for a 1-month jug. Additional jugs, only $65 a pop. And I make nothing. Zero.
Right.
Zilch.
Right.
By the time I pay all my scientists, all my people in my research department, lab coats, it's a wash.
So, I mean, I love that character. And that's exactly how I feel like every person in the GOP is. They are these baby Billy elixir salesmen.
Well, they don't get a lot of sunshine under those white hoods, you know?
Yeah. So the lady brought up, in the viral video, the lady brought up due process. And I just want to kind of remind everybody, because I didn't actually fully know. There are 3 different kinds of due process. Oh, 2 main types, excuse me. Procedural due process requires notice, an opportunity to be heard, and a neutral decision maker before the government can take away a person's right or property.
Okay.
And then there's substantive due process, which protects certain fundamental rights from government interference, regardless of the procedure used. So meaning, by the way, those are afforded to all people in our jurisdiction.
Everybody.
Correct.
Everybody. That's right.
Correct.
This guy went as far as to invoke Pearl Harbor as to why these undocumented immigrants should not have any protections, due process. He said, quote, they don't have the right to see a judge. When the Japanese were bombing Pearl Harbor, did we give them due process to actually see a judge? Using Pearl Harbor to argue immigrants shouldn't get due process. And that's a completely crazy analogy. It doesn't make any sense. It's completely illegal, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. And it's kind of on point, though. Like, he's going back to Japanese internment camps.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, you're kind of saying the quiet part out loud there, buddy.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And we're filming this, I think, one day after. No, we're filming this the day after the 80th anniversary of us, the Americans dropping the bomb on Hiroshima.
We're all in danger.
Yes.
If this is the thinking, because
That's
they can just go up to anybody and be like, I think you're an illegal immigrant. You don't get due process. I'm going to ship you off to El Salvador.
It harkens back to a time when the Gestapo would say, show me your papers.
Yeah.
And if you don't have your papers, you're fucked. Like,
that's exactly right.
Papers, please. Yeah.
So we just, we know where this is going.
Yeah. Can I say something too? And this is true. All my life, I have always, whenever I've gotten pulled over by the police, and I used to own a Camaro when I was a kid, I had long hair. I used to get pulled over all the fucking time. All the fucking time. But whenever they would come up to my car, I always put my hands up on my steering wheel just like this, just so they could see them very, very clearly. And I've always done that just for their safety, my safety, everything, right? I never really thought anything of it until the last few years. I've thought about it now way more, where I'm like, listen, man, it's like they could just snatch me right up for no reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not asking anymore.
Yeah.
They're just grabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
Fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make you all aware of this for a specific reason. Trump gets online this morning, says that stuff. We wanted to make you aware that this was happening. We should be pushing back on this. We should be sharing this across social media, that this is happening, that he wants to do this, to shift money around, to shift political power around. It's important.
It's important for you to know your rights and teach your friends what their rights are if they're in danger, because we are. We are.
Yeah. And yet again, Trump on Truth Social this morning, and this guy with this viral video, the guy for the lieutenant governor of Indiana, is more proof that they don't care about our rights or the rights of the Constitution. So, folks, what do you think? Give us a call, 503-212-4600, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can leave us up to a 5-minute message. You can also email us at shout@thedangerousones.com. If you'd like to support this show, you can do so by going to thedangerousones.com. That'll kick you over to our Substack, where you can become a paid subscriber. Folks, please like and subscribe this video. And if you're listening to us, give us a 5-star review. Until then, be safe out there, get into good trouble, and remember, we are all the dangerous ones.
Bye.
Bye.